Attack on Titan has finally ended, and with that comes something of a weight to bear. The story that has been told is an incredibly detailed and complex one, yet so breathtakingly simple. I feel like the best way to go about this would be to tackle it from the ending, because whenever I think about the Attack on Titan ending, this phrase goes through my mind. The ending of Attack on Titan is very unfulfilling. It wasn't bad, it was good. I just personally didn't enjoy the message. This is something I have heard said many times, and I must very firmly disagree. I know, it's your opinion, and you're entitled to it, but I digress. If with all honesty, you watched the entire show and didn't see this coming, then wow. The tree. What better way to represent the perpetuation of violence at the very end of Attack on Titan? We are shown this tree during all of human civilization, but at the start of Attack on Titan, we also see this tree. It's at the start of it all. It's there through everything. As far as I understand, it is somewhat implied that this tree is where the Titans originated from. But let's just completely ignore that. What's important is that the cycle of life is brief and fleeting, but sad. We watch Attack on Titan, and then we're shown that it's all meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Everything that everyone ever fought for means nothing. Armin's effort means nothing. But that isn't all there is to it. Just stop for a moment and see what's actually being said. What we're forgetting is, despite the fact that nothing matters, clearly, people will give their hearts and continue to hope. The perpetuation of something that we love is what we should care about. Why should it matter that all the trials and tribulation are meaningless? So what if you die in the end? Can't you just do something because it's your passion? Can't you take pride in that? Can't we just simply believe in something or someone because they are the thing that keeps us going? Can't we just be alive while we're alive because we're alive? Who cares if it amounts to nothing in the end? At least it meant something to the people who we care about. This one's going to require a little bit of context. In part 2 of the final season, the final chapters, Armin was in the paths with Zeke. He found a leaf lying on the ground, and he starts to remember many of the mundane moments from his life that most people would reminisce on. And I guess in a sense he reminisces on them too. All the time spent mundanely just sitting, fantasizing about the world beyond. And when Armin shows Zeke the leaf, Zeke has the most profound of realizations. Because what he sees is not a leaf. Instead, it's a baseball. And he remembers all of the time that he spent with the doctor, I don't remember his name, just tossing the ball between each other. It's something that he states he could do all eternity long. Obviously an exaggeration, but that's not the point here. We all in our lives have that moment, that feeling, where the mood is just right, and you could stay in that moment forever, if that single moment could just drag on and never end. But in that moment, you don't think about that. It's only upon reflection that you realize how much you want that moment to continue. But in that moment, you're just simply feeling. You're simply present. And nothing else matters, because why would it? Everything is just blending to perfection. And it's the realization that life can be that way that saves Zeke, and then saves the other Titan users that Zeke calls upon somehow. That doesn't really get explained. They just kind of appear and help fight the founding Titan, but those are just details. And at the end of the day, this is by no stretch of imagination a criticism of Attack on Titan. Personally, I think it's an incredibly complex way to send a message, but it does drive the point home. There is a saying, yesterday is history.
Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
Maybe it's just time we take a step back and appreciate the now for what it is. It isn't very often that something which has no bearing on reality will make me cry. It isn't very often that an anime will make me cry. But Attack on Titan is one of those few exceptions. You see, and I'm gonna paint a scene here for you now. It is in the moment when an entire continent is devastated, right to the edge, and it makes you feel hopeless. Every detail about what's happening, the rumbling, everything about it screams hopelessness. Who would ever, in their right mind, think that something like this could be overcome? But even so, a single mother, in an act of desperation, on the edge of a cliff face, hands her infant child over to anyone who could preserve its life just a moment longer. And in that one act of hope, a chain of hope is built from one person to another. Everyone that is helping save this child's life, incrementally, all of them know that there is no hope. There is no point. But in spite of everything that is happening around them, they continue to put their faith in the next generation. It feels so unrealistic that these people would unspokenly agree to save a life in this way. But they do. And that's why this scene is beautiful. It's a whole other way of showing us that humanity never gives up. The entirety of Attack on Titan has been showing us through the efforts of all of the fallen comrades of the scouting regiment. All of them laid down their lives in hopes that they will be able to overcome the Titans. Even if there is no hope, it just takes one person to have faith. The description of faith that has always stuck with me is the evidence of things not seen. Now, regardless of religious connotations, I think that in of itself, that description is beautiful. This brief moment in the entirety of the show moved me to such an extent that nothing else has. There's so much that can be packed into something so small. There is so much more I would love to talk about, but I think it's just about time we sit back and see Attack on Titan for what it really is. And in all honesty, it's just a seriously good shonen anime, and do we really ask for more than that?